Good morning my dear students. I hope you all are fine. In previous class I have discussed from the chapter Getting to Know Plants from your NCERT book Science. In previous class I have discussed about various parts of plants including stem, then root, leaf, and today I am going to discuss about the most beautiful part of a plant that you know, that is flower. Flower is the very attractive part of a plant, and this flower is also known as the reproductive part of flowering plants. Okay, so you have to remember this point. And one thing, this flower is a modification of shoot. Shoot, you know, shoot, S-H-O-O-T. Shoot means the stem, growing stem. Stem means a stem, the growing stem is modified to become a structure called shoot. So, we can say this flower is a modified shoot. Okay. Flower is also called modified shoot, and this is the most attractive part. And another thing, and main reproductive part. Plants. Okay. Now, why this flower is called main reproductive part in plants? It must have some parts, or it must contain some things that helps in reproduction, means formation of new progeny or new generation, formation of a new plant from a seed. So, this flower plays major role in reproduction in case of flowering plants. Okay, and flowers having so many parts, there are main 4 parts: sepal, petals, stamens and carpels. Okay, these 4 parts are main parts of a flower. Among these 4, 2 are main reproductive part, one is male reproductive, another is female reproductive. Okay. Now, stamen is the male reproductive part, and pistil, or that I will tell in more detail, this part is female reproductive part. Okay. And these all parts have different function in flower. Okay. So, let us start today's class with flower, with a diagram of flower. Okay. First I will start with a diagram of flower. Try to follow me, everyone. This is a flower, you can easily see. Now, I will mention main parts of flower. of a flower. Okay. Now, can you see the board? Just try to follow me. This is the stalk or pedicel through which a flower is attached with the stem. Okay. Now, the outermost part of a flower, that is known as sepal. You may see this form of flower, these are called sepal. Then comes to petals. Petals, you know, they gives very good fragrance. Then stamen, this one, and another is pistil. Okay, the whole structure is called pistil. Okay, and the whole structure of this male reproductive organ is known as stamen, and the whole structure of the female reproductive part is known as pistil. Okay, I hope you have understood this portion. So, the flowers have main 4 parts. One is sepal, another is petals, you can see stamen and pistil. Understood everyone? Now, I will tell different function of sepals, petals, stamens and carpels. Stamens or and pistil. Okay. Let's start sepal. Sepal, it is the outermost part of a flower. Outermost part of a flower, then often they are very small, but they have green leaf like structure. They protect the inner parts of a flower. So, they are just like leaf like structure, greenish, they are greeny leaf like structure, and they protect the flower when the flower is in bud form. So, this sepal protect the whole flower when flower is in bud form, and these are the outermost structure of a flower. Understood everyone? Now comes to the next part of flower, that is stamen. Okay, stamen, sorry, stamen not, petals. 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 What is petals? Petals are inside the sepal. You can see after sepal there is the structure is petals. So, sepals present inside the petals present inside the sepals. Then different flowers have different petals of different color. You have seen that, and some flowers have very sweet smelling petals with color, with its color and fragrance, and petals attracted not only human beings but also attracted some insects, you know, insects and the birds also. So, petals are such an attractive part of a flower. You understood this portion? So, the outermost part is sepal and second is petals. Sepal's main function to protect the flower from outer problem or outer any destruction. It protect the flower from any outer destruction, and petals actually attracts the insect, and that insects help in their pollination. Pollination that I will tell in later. Okay. Now comes to stamen. Stamen, you can see in the picture the whole part of the stamen, that is somehow inner to the petal. Okay. This is the petal, you can see, and this is the stamen part, and stamen is the male reproductive part. Okay. And they are mostly 4 to 6 in number in a flower, and each stamen is made up of 2 parts. One is filament, another is anther. Okay. Anther contains pollen grains. Now, how can we say that stamen contains 2 parts? If we want to draw a stamen, then we can see if this is a stamen, This is the full structure of a stamen, where this portion is known as anther and this pipe-like structure is known as filament, and these anthers produce, this anther bears pollen grains. You must have seen yellowish color pollen grains in flowers, yellowish color, colorful actually, they bears pollen grains over here. So, they bears pollen grains. Okay. So, this is the male part, male reproductive part in flower. Understood everyone? This is stamen, sorry I have written wrong here, stamen, and the main portion of a stamen is anther and filament. This is anther, anther bears pollen grains, and this long portion is known as filament. Understood everyone? Now comes to female reproductive part. Female reproductive part in plant, that is pistil. Now, I have to rub this figure of stamen. If we try to draw this total pistil here, then we can see that this pistil having three different parts. Okay. This is the typical picture of a pistil or female reproductive part. Organ. Here this pistil is consist of three parts. Okay. First one is called here, this portion is called stigma, and this tube like structure is called style, and this round portion is called stigma style and ovary, means here eggs are present. So, here we have seen that pistil is made of three parts, one is stigma, style and ovary. Now, how this reproduction takes place? The from the stamen, anther in the form of pollen grains just drops here with the help of some insect. So, the process of pollination, they will just settle here, and after settling here they will make a tube, then that tube will go along with the inner portion of the style, then they will fuse with the ovary present here, and later this ovary, when after maturity it will become fruit. Okay. So, here we have seen the female reproductive part of a reproductive organ of a flower. Okay. Now, I hope you have understood the portion. Now, from your book page number 7.24 and 7.26, there you can see two pictures are there, cutting an ovary, longitudinal cut and transverse cut. This cut is for just watching or observing ovules present over there. Okay. Just in the first figure, cutting of an ovary in the longitudinal, if you cut it longitudinally, then longitudinally means, I am rubbing this portion, if this is the pistil just cutting over here in this portion. Okay, this is called as longitudinal cut. Longitudinal cut. So after cutting this pistil in longitudinal way, then we can see the ovary like they will be just look like this way. Their ovules are present over here. Here you can see these are ovules. Okay. When we cut this ovary in longitudinal section, then we will see this ovary like this figure. And if we cut the ovary in transverse section means if this is a pistil, I have drawn it in another way. Just I have drawn it in horizontally. When the cut is in this portion, okay, means through, then we can see or then we can observe the ovary like then we can see the ovary like locules, they are in locules, okay. They are ovules, they are also ovules, okay. That is in singular form, ovules here, okay. I hope you have understood this part, flower. If you have any problem, you can ask me in the e-portal, and in the next day we will start exercise question answer. Okay students, thank you, have a nice day.